Let's talk about Cuba, because have you seen what's happening there right now? It is collapsing, and that's because of a very deliberate policy by President Trump.
It's got no energy, it's got no oil, it's got no money, it's got nothing.
So what's he up to? And what do Cubans here in America make of a policy that's bringing their homeland to its knees?
So Tampa and Havana have had a long, long history.
Cuba's not our enemy.
Cubans love Donald Trump.
Ybor, a neighborhood of Tampa, but it's not the Florida you might imagine. The culture here is Latin, the industry cigars, and the roots mostly Cuban. Even the famous street birds are, they say, descendants of Cuban chickens.
My name's Patrick Manteiga.
The Manteiga family roots here are deep. Son, father, and grandfather before him.
I'm the third generation publisher of BLOCKADE newspaper. It was founded in 1922 by my grandfather, Victoriano, who immigrated to Tampa in 1913 from Cuba. I don't think a lot of people understand that the word Cuban American has a lot of different meanings here in America. If you're a Cuban American whose family came over before 1959, 1960, you love Kennedy, you're a Democrat, Fidel Castro is not your issue every day. If you're a Cuban who came over from 1959 to 1970, you're a Republican, you hate John F. Kennedy, and you're eaten up by revenge and anger on the Castro regime. If you are somebody who came in after that, you probably still have family there, and you're probably very concerned about how that family is doing there.
Here's the divide.
Marco Rubio, stop killing Cubans!
This past week in Washington, Trump's Cuban American Secretary of State heckled.
Marco Rubio is murdering his own people. He's never been to Cuba.
The administration's blockade policy to squeeze Cuba into submission or collapse, well, Marco Rubio is the architect behind that.
It's very sad in Cuba. The issue is that why is it sad? What is causing this? Our American administration wants you to believe it's all the mistakes of Cuba. It's bad leadership, it's bad this, it's bad that. And I'm not going to defend the Cuban administration and government, but I will tell you that after understanding U.S.-Cuba policy, that I don't think there's any country in the world that could survive and have any prosperity under what the U.S. is currently doing to Cuba and has done to Cuba since the embargo was placed in the mid-60s.
That decades-long embargo has shaped the history here. The cigar factories are in this town because of its proximity to Cuba. The workers are Cuban American, but the tobacco no longer, not since the 1960s. There is little evidence that Donald Trump cares particularly about Cuba or Cubans, but to be the president who changed Cuba, well, that he likes the sound of. And the votes of those Cubans who live here, of course. Up the road at the wholesale fruit market, business seems good. And support for President Trump, well, we found that to be strong.
Cubans love Donald Trump.
You know, his policy is punishing everyone in Cuba.
The people, I know people that don't care if they're gonna break free. They don't care. They don't care for the punishment.
It's a price worth paying.
Of course, yes, yes.
So you'll vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
And again?
Yeah, I will.
A mixture of hope then, with a sense that anything must be better than a status quo that's endured for so many decades.
I have family in Cuba that have suffered greatly due to this dictatorship. And just like Venezuela and all the people and citizens of Venezuela who have honestly had such a great outlook and positive view on what's happened, I think it's going to be the same thing for Cuba personally.
Tampa's politics is fascinating because it's not quite the same as much of Florida. The vote is tighter here. Trump won in 2024 in Tampa, but in 2020, Biden won. In 2016, it was Clinton, against the grain of this Republican-red state. On 7th Street, the Dirty Shame is the local hangout, where I found Victor De Mayo, a local lobbyist, passionate Democrat, proud Cuban American, and no fan of Trump.
I was fortunate to go on a very historic trip When President Obama opened up Cuba for the first time in many, many decades.
2016.
Yes, I actually sat there in Cuba with President Obama and Raul Castro. It was a wonderful period for Cuba.
It's a reminder for sure of a different time. So what will happen this time?
I really don't think Marco Rubio knows. I don't think Donald Trump knows. I think if they go in there to Cuba to do what exactly? It's not going to be Venezuela.
It's going to be more like Iran than Venezuela.
Yes. The United States is very good about dropping bombs, but they're very bad about winning the hearts and minds of the people.